guys, my name's John. I'm a photographer, filmmaker from BC, Canada, and I wanted to just take a little bit of your time today to talk about this SmallRig ultralight matte box. SmallRig was kind enough to send this to me for review, and I honestly never really thought that I would be much of a matte box kind of guy. I didn't really see a huge purpose, especially at like the price point of a lot of the professional solutions from, I think it's like Bright Tangerine. Yeah, like upwards of $1,000, even for the Polar Pro system where you're stuck using Polar Pro's filters. I think it was looking at around $800 to get something pretty basic for my needs there. That being said, this matte box comes in at around, I think, $150 Canadian, and throw a filter in there. I just bought one filter so far and it was around $200. So for 350 bucks to have a solution that really kind of ups your level of being able to switch out your lenses without changing screw-on filters, I think is a really great value. And the quality of the Nisi filter that I put into it, I just have not felt that quality from another ND that I've used. I feel like there's virtually zero color cast for it. So why should you get a matte box? If you're running with a follow focus on rails, that means I can slide the matte box out a little bit to give myself room to quickly pull a lens off of the camera, reattach it, and get back to shooting with the same ND strength, which I quite like. Another thing that I noticed really quickly is I had a shoot outside the other day and it started to drizzle, and I never had an issue with the raindrop hitting the filter or the lens or even coming close to it. So that was kind of a nice addition. When it comes to flare reduction, I haven't really had a day where there's been bright sun where I think that I really could, need to flag off some of the glare, but I'm sure that it performs well. Even just the edges of the matte box itself are going to be a benefit to mitigating flare coming in because they're so much farther out from the center of your lens. Overall, I think the build quality on the matte box is exceptional. It's using some polycarbonate, a little bit of carbon fiber for the top flag, and it's also using some aluminum parts too for where you're attaching and screwing on potential adapter rings for the lenses that you use. One of the big advantages that the SmallRig Mattebox has over some of its competitors is the ability to use two ND filters. You could use a diffusion filter or ND filter at the same time, as there's two slots for 4x4 or 4x565 inch filters. So they're really easy to put in. It just opens like that. You've got two thumb screws for each of the slots on the top where you can unscrew them. All things considered, I believe that this is just a really great bargain solution, but it doesn't feel like a bargain solution. It feels like something that you would feel proud to have in your camera bag and take on locations. And even from my clients who've seen us with it on our cameras recently, people seem a little bit more impressed by a matte box. So just the aesthetics, the low point of cost getting into it, and especially because, I said I spent $200 on a Nisi filter. They're great, and I can't say enough good things about the Nisi filters that I put into this matte box, but I believe that I saw some from KNF, and I've used KNF filters in the past, and they're decent quality. So I think I saw some for around $50 or at least $100. You could get into something cheaper. So for that point of entry, I think that it's kind of a no-brainer to jump into a system like this if it fits your workflow. Anyways, that's all for today, guys. If you want, just let me know in the comments if you think that this might be a good option for you, or if you have any questions on, whether your workflow needs it or not. I'd be happy to kind of chat about it. And follow me on Instagram at CameraGearLust, and we'll talk more about gear there too. All right, peace.